If we have audio. Audio. Oh. Um, I don't know. Is that worse? I'm getting constantly one green and not moving to two. So let's see. If I can Control V. Check out this stream of mine. Oh, okay. We have sound. So that means I should just flick that down, make sure it actually is it's going, and let's see. Now I'm going to check my own audio and see how I should talk. Well, I did turn my volume down. Here's Luna. This is Luna. Now that I know you can hear, you can hear me. That's as you can see, I've got my washing out. So that's interesting to know. So Luna going off shot. Anyway, I'm dazzled by myself, as you can tell. Anyway, back to what I actually want to do here. So I decided Plato sucks, and Aristotle was right. And then there is knowledge in attempting, well, practical knowledge as opposed to theoretical book knowledge. You know, Plato believed in what is it? The true form that is sort of, you could say, beyond the real form. So, you know, if you've got chairs, you know, the word chair refers to the supreme chair, which is not a physical form, but something ethereal, you could say. And so, with that comes the presupposition that someone could go away into a cave and discover the true chair without ever seeing chairs, which seems a bit ridiculous. That you could think about chair forever without and come to true knowledge without experiencing, developing, or seeing a chair just doesn't seem right. So there's got to be something to practical knowledge, as in, you build a chair, and with that you come to a lot more understanding of the object, deeper understanding than those that just use chairs. So that's why I'm streaming, if you could say, and not in a sort of educated way, let's say, but hopefully a wise way. Because I find it funny. I look up and see one viewer, and that's me, because I have it open in another tab. Anyway, or maybe I don't. Maybe that is someone else. You could maybe chat. Hit the chat if you are not me looking at me, but I suspect it's me. But anyway, so what does that mean? That I, just went for it and found problems as I came. What do you want? You want more treats, don't you? She's probably a bit concerned for me that I'm talking to myself. Hey, Luna. Hey. Anyway. So, I, stumbled through, and you come to problems that actually matter, only the problems that matter, when you actually just do things as opposed to research. Like I'm trying to learn to use my camera. There was a whole lot of advice for it's a Sony a6000 that I bought last year in development of trying to do this, but hit into the desire to uh, know before going. So last week I tried to stream. I did not do that publicly because why would you? Big yawn. Anyway, because I had no idea what I was doing. I had no idea if it would work, and it did not work. I looked into connecting that computer via the camera via USB straight to the thing and downloading the image software for Sony. I think I forgot what it's called. I might actually have it showing up right now on this other tab. So if I flick that over, nope. It just goes back to videos. Imaging Edge webcam software for Sony products. That was their solution. But conveniently for me, Alpha 6000 was the one camera that was not serviced by that technology. A whole lot of the guides said Alpha 600, Alpha 6000, I should say. Use the software for Alpha 6000. Probably, yeah, meaning Alpha 6000, 6100s, or Alpha 6, some other numeral 00. But that's not my camera. Mine is the only seeming one that does not work for that software. So, I found the right problems by trying, which was beneficial. I came to the understanding that also through that it wouldn't charge while even trying. Like it would actually kind of try to connect via the USB, but it didn't. This is probably a very niche problem because the camera that I have. So with that, last week I bought a false battery unit. So it plugs into where the camera battery normally goes. It's got a unit that's the same shape with a cable off it. And there's actually already a flip out for that with the camera on the cap that goes over the battery for that sort of unit. So I've got that plugged into the wall. I don't know if it's actually on at the wall. Let me just check that. Yes, it is. So that's good. But yeah, I needed an adapter. I already have an adapter because country I am in usually needs adapters for technology. Amazon type stuff. So that I needed through practical knowledge, and the other one of just hitting into the stopgap of not being able to start or get any video through. I also hit into, yes, I will need to connect via the micro HDMI port on the on the camera and HDMI to a video capture card. I got the USB dongle one. I went with the cheap one. There's a cheap one around that's no, I don't have the box. But if you search up what do they call it? Camlink, which is the Elgato more fancy one, around $200 around here. Down. Sit. Down. Good girl. Oh, there we go. So yeah, if you search that one, probably the cheap one's going to appear as well in the Google, market sort of tab. It, is quite almost cylindrical, except for the profile of the circle faces is more rounded of a rectangle. This is a terrible way to describe shapes. Despite having video, I'm only going to use words because I'm currently using it. So yeah, that is what I did with that. I have this mic already. This was something I bought at the same time as the camera in the hope of maybe doing this. But yeah, so I just realized an interesting factor of I'm sharing my experiential knowledge that hopefully you hit the same niche I did and can learn, I guess, through education from my experience as opposed to the experience that I'm hoping to do myself, experiential gaining of wisdom. So that's rather interesting. But at least, hopefully, you can find entertainment from it. So that's where I am. So you may notice there's another video. I may just remove that one because I started a stream, but I was not getting any audio. I plugged in this mic, I fiddled around with settings, and it wasn't doing anything. The output was getting no sound. As I mentioned, I am watching myself, and that's how I knew that. So there's a fluff. Anyway, so yeah, that is So I ended up having to restart that stream, and that's this one. That's why there's a 2 in the title, or attempt to, through a cryptic sort of way of saying that. But anyway, so yeah, it seems like I'm streaming. It seems like you're getting sound. It seems like the video is pretty good. The scenery should probably change, but the dog is cute. So that is good. And she is wanting more and more attention. Hey. But anyway, I'm not sure. I kind of like sitting here and having the dog around. Might try to do that again. The couches might change. I've got some nicer ones in the garage I have been waiting to do, but I really wanted to finish some painting in another room. But I guess I'm just going to skip that bit. But yeah, I might tidy up this room, sit on the floor, and yeah. So that's my experience of that. Oh, you want your ball? No, these balls are great. They've got holes. Got a hole right through them. They're rubber. They're glow in the dark, and she can't destroy them like a tennis ball. Tennis ball, she'll just chew right through, strip, and break a tennis ball. But those she cannot, and in a way, I think of it as like a pacifier for her. She likes chewing it like a baby might a pacifier. But she's a dog, so she experiences a lot more through teeth pressure and mouth, I guess. A lot of animals experience that. I guess human babies and dogs kind of at the same experiential level at a certain stage. But they both have, but dogs get still, you could say, stinted around young toddler, but never able to speak, obviously. But yeah, it's interesting. What? babies experience a lot through, mouth experiencing. Like, they notice they'll try to put your hair in their mouth, or, suckle on anything they can get their mouth on. Anything they get their hands on, they'll try to put in their mouths. But, dogs seem to like that as well, and they find it calming. So that's quite nice for them. Especially something with a little bit of resistance in the bite. Chewing. Yeah. Like, when unless this dog gets a bit bored, she'll find a stick to chew up, essentially, just for fun, I guess, just something to do. Hey, save your boredom. But anyway, so that's what I've learned from this one. It'll be interesting to see how things progress. Actually, let's see if I can just do that immediately. And okay, see you. Also, I think another thing to point out is another quote that I heard in relation to success and sort of attempting something more like streaming, where it's a growth is needed for getting any sort of way in it. I don't really care personally about my work has been restructured, so we don't work Fridays. We work 10 hours a day for 4 days, and Fridays off. So that means I have an extra day. So I might as well, try to do something with it. Work-y, But I'm obviously this is something that I chose because it's worky, but it's fun. Yeah, it's not doing it for any purpose of money, to be sure, but it's worth an experiment. I think. Well, I've got the time while I want to, try to learn, or learn by trying. And the quote that started me on this ramble was, "It took me 10 years to become an overnight success." So that's an interesting thing where if I wanted to ever become successful at something, it's okay to spend 10 years finding any way success in something, and trying, So yeah, you got to start somewhere. Everyone who's famous, at one stage, no one knew their name. Well, I guess apart from celebrities who were born to celebrities, I guess. But but they had no notoriety, I guess, in acting themselves. But I guess how many people is that? That's probably 50 people, maybe, in the world population. Well, if I'm mainly thinking about Western world, I guess. I'm not sure how popular it is in Bollywood or in the East. But yeah. My thoughts was on, I guess China usually picks up people from just the population and just makes them famous and stuff like that. They sort of have a governmental led, not, in crowd led from popularity. So, families that are successful and will, have a head start in name notoriety. But anyway, where was I? But yeah, there's probably few people that especially with the now dominance of YouTube and other streaming platforms or video platforms. A lot of those people aren't famous otherwhere. It kind of feels wrong to me watching people that are supposedly famous elsewhere. Sort of less so like clips of talk shows or stuff like that, where the idea is a sort of organic, sort of talking to each other. of questions that are well researched, I guess, at least. So it's sort of informative, but I know some people who I guess just watch clips of old shows they liked. But it's not really the big names. Those clip shows aren't going to get famous, otherwise they will get probably copyright striked and removed from YouTube. Although I guess it's possible, but I guess it's a niche within a niche of it's people who like the show and then want to watch just clips of it as opposed to watching the whole show. Anyway, where was I? But yeah, all the big names. People who are definitely not famous elsewhere. Like nobody who doesn't watch YouTube knows anyone from YouTube, unless they get public notoriety by acts like PewDiePie being the top dog for quite a while. I think Mr. Beast just passed him a little bit ago. But both of those have notoriety for being the biggest, for one. Or people that get notoriety for harassment or illegal stuff that happens. So, but yeah, all the people that you probably mainstay watch, no one really knows them. No, they're not known from elsewhere. They were once someone who was not famous. So noticing that everyone you like to watch was once never watched, that's you as well. You've been never watched. I've been never watched. So that's interesting to note that you are in the same place that once the biggest names once were. So yeah, and despite your age, I'm quite late 20s now, and actually that reminds me of a meme that I saw. It was it's never too late to live your dreams. Lad the Impaler only started impaling in his late 30s. So, the thing that you're known for the rest of your life doesn't need to be something that you started 10 years ago. But it could be something that you start now and do for 10 years. But yeah. So, that has been me. I think I'm happy with that. It's been my thoughts coming into this. The experience of getting a camera connected. Part of me is wondering if I edit these and condense it so that I can make a video from that and then distribute that or have that as an archive for if I should ever have more than one watcher that isn't just me, possibly. Yep, it seems to be just me. But anyway, but if that ever happens, then I can be like, usually the question is, what are you doing right now? Like, how are you doing this? And really, it is, what is it? A very cheap USB mic, a expensive-ish camera, but I got it secondhand. That's what pushed me to the Sony a6000 as opposed to, I kind of really wanted that Sony a5400 because that had a more flippable display that would be easier for this. But this one doesn't really have a good display for that. I think it just flips essentially upwards so that you can hold the camera lower and still see the screen while looking down, but not enough that I can see it from the side. But luckily, streaming, that's also on it is on the screen, so that's actually all right. So probably wasn't too bad, but it did end up costing me, what is it, probably around about 100 or more. But I guess I did get the camera cheaper because it was secondhand, so it probably evened out to just the camera cost anyway. And the functionality that I wanted wasn't really necessary, so pretty well there. So that was around about 600 I got the camera for, and the camera was worth about 8. So that's pretty good. This USB mic is probably like $30, if that. But yeah, just wanted something to connect. I wanted to see this. I'm going to quickly check the connection, see if I can hear myself and see what's happening. Let's just yeah, so this seems like the audio was actually all right. If anyone ever watches this and tells me otherwise, then please do. Thank you and good night. That's the warning here. Anyway, see ya. End stream.